Right, he was here at the Auburn vaccination site to encourage people to come get vaccinated, but he still was not able to give us exact numbers.
What's the best thing about doing this work?
Making sure that people are vaccinated and safe.
Governor Inslee knows we're close to the goal of 70% of people 16 and over getting their first dose of COVID vaccine, but he can't say exactly how close because the federal vaccination numbers are hard to get a handle on. Last Thursday, using the best federal numbers they had, they came up with 67.8%. But that figure has not changed in 5 days, still saying 67.8%. Surely that total has to be much higher now. How do you know you're not at 70% now, and shouldn't you consider reopening well before June 30th?
We're going to follow our plan. It's a good plan. It's based on science, and we're going to continue that plan to open on June 30th for sure, or 70 when we get to 70%. We're not at 70%. The Department of Health has advised me that today. They'll have further updates when they got some data coming in. And the reason is, one, we want to save lives. We still do have one of the highest infection rates in the United States. So it still makes sense to show some caution.
In fact, the new variants are causing alarm among health leaders around the state as we approach full reopening. That's why the governor continues his around the state and around the clock push to get more people vaccinated, with the payoff of being able to fully reopen the state even before June 30th.
I think it is possible, and I can't give any prediction on the odds. All I can tell you is every time somebody gets vaccinated, two things happen. We get closer to opening up faster, before June 30th, possibly. I do think that is a possibility. But more importantly, you got a chance to save your life, or your spouses, or your uncles, or your grandparents, or your kids.
Yeah, the state health department tells me they are continuing to try to get those numbers out of the federal government so they can get a better grasp of how close they are to 70%. Again, stuck at 67.8%. You got to believe that we are much closer than that. We hope to get new numbers tomorrow, or at least by Thursday, to see how soon we can reopen. Reporting live in Auburn, Keith Eldridge, KOMO News.
Keith, thank you. Today, the state held its third drawing in the Shot of a Lifetime Vaccine Incentive Lottery. 256 prizes were up for grabs today, including another $250,000 in cash. The state will begin notifying winners tomorrow. There will be another drawing next week, followed by the final grand prize drawing on July 13th, in which the state will give away $1 million. Be sure to stick with the KOMO News Network for continuing coverage of the coronavirus pandemic and our path forward to a full reopening. We'll have updates every day here on TV, on the radio, and online at KOMOnews.com, where you can find the extensive coronavirus resource page.
Eric, you know, one student told me he's just heartbroken seeing those messages, and parents say they don't feel like their students are safe. Now, the district behind me is denouncing the hack, but they're still trying to figure out how it happened in the first place.
In my lifetime, that is the most hatred, detailed, white supremacist stuff I have ever seen.
The hate-filled racist hack is so derogatory and disturbing, we're blurring it. This is what Lake Washington School District students and parents were exposed to for an hour after officials say the entire school district website and all its pages were hacked last Thursday.
It was shocking.
I was in shock. I was like, who would do this?
Recently graduated senior Angel George saw a screenshot of the offensive messages making the rounds on social media.
And I was just really concerned because it had a bunch of derogatory terms to every race except for white people, so it's kind of scary.
Her mom, Renee, says she wouldn't let her daughter go out that night.
My heart instantly sank due to being scared and actually traumatized.
I reached out to Lake Washington School District. Officials have apologized, calling the hack vile and completely unacceptable, saying Lake Washington School District does not in any way condone this type of language, and we're saddened that this action is intentionally trying to hurt people of certain races and cultures. Redmond police says they're investigating and working with the district's IT staff to get to the bottom of the hack.
Where is the action? Where are the action items?
Will there ever be accountability for it?
Renee is on the Lake Washington School District Equity Board. She says the hack should be a teaching moment for the district to promote more inclusion, diversity, and denounce hate.
We are begging for you to recognize the racism that is going on in your school and to make our kids safe in your school district. That is what I am demanding.
Seattle now has a plan to get millions of dollars in federal COVID relief to those in Seattle who need it the most. KOMO's Lee Stowe's live with how this money is going to be spent. Good morning, Lee.
Good morning. Well, this is a bit of an unusual vote for the city council because it was unanimous. We don't say that very often. 9-0 was the vote yesterday, and all about $128 million in federal funding is going to be spent. Most of it is from the American Rescue Plan Act. $12 million is coming from another federal source. Now, the mayor and the council worked together and drafted a plan last month. They didn't make too many changes to the final package, which will spend over $49 million on housing and homelessness, like tiny homes and outreach programs. $41 million will be for community well-being, like cash assistance for households affected by the pandemic, and city services like libraries. $23.5 million will be for community recovery. That includes small business grants and job training. And $7.6 million will be for city services and workers to upgrade technology and to help employees who are returning to work. Again, that vote was just taken yesterday, and today, Mayor Durkin will sign it this afternoon. Back to you.
Hey everybody, I'm Eric Johnson from KOMO News. Thanks for checking out the KOMO YouTube channel. You can see more of our videos right here by clicking on the video links for more news from the Seattle area and all of Western Washington. And don't forget to click the subscribe button below so you don't miss our YouTube updates.